All right. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are again. So I'm going to double check something. That's strange. All right. Okay, good. I just wanted the confirmation. And now that we are live, welcome to another episode of Oh Great. Really? Yeah. What's going on? All right. Yes, I am louder than I've ever been in a meaningful period of time. Um, yeah, there was an episode of Cup with Bro, and now it's Sup with Bro, right? Yeah. So I do apologize, right? From time to time, I'm going to be, switching off my camera. But sometimes something is happening that, um, yeah, it's a visceral moment, right? Where I'm trying to control my reaction to my sinuses, and it's not really not doing what it ought to be doing, right? Now I need to be out of this house by say 10. I would say 10:30 the latest, right? 10:30 the latest. Um, and maybe I don't need to be here that particularly long, right? But I just want to, have a little talk with you and myself, right? No, hold on. Yeah, couple weeks back, a question was posed to me by students, no less. And the question was, why is school necessary? School is necessary for the same reason why a 9 to 5 is necessary for somebody like this guy, in spite of saying to you that you want to give yourself a life where you can live outside of your 9 to 5, right? But here's the thing. Although you want to be free, right? You want your entrepreneurial or business owner independence and all of these things, right? There is something else. You see, okay, hold on. The fan that I'm using, I need to be sure that it's not causing any any disturbance or any more disturbance than it would normally cause. Yeah. I don't know what's happening today because normally the fan is on me. I don't have this problem. But anyhow, all right. Yeah. All right. So back again, right? So yeah. Life is a lot like MMA. When your grappling doesn't work, you go to your striking. Striking doesn't work, you go to your grappling. Right? Yeah. So that's why you need school. You need school to frustrate you into creating a better school. You need a 9 to 5 to frustrate you into doing something like this. Where you might be inadvertently responsible for your own digital marketing agency. And, a lot of people, they get so caught up in their own sense of self-importance. Yeah. You know, a lot of people like to portray themselves as this, you know, big shot executive with the, you know, and don't get me wrong, that's why I call it slightly unprofessional, right? Because I kind of look the part, kind of, right? Long sleeve, right? Bucket hat might be unprofessional, but somehow it fits. And I do make sure to, you know, yeah, I coordinate sometime, you know. So, you know, the question is, why we need school? Why we need a 9 to 5? Why? Why you need a 9 to 5? You need a 9 to 5 to frustrate you into creating something for yourself. Because if you never have the 9 to 5, you would not be frustrated. Because you're not going to do it if you don't have the proper motivation. The 9 to 5 will motivate you to say, I don't want to work under these conditions ever again. And if I do, I can walk out on my own terms when I feel like it. Because it allows you to work for somebody and say, you can't hold this over my head. Because I have my own business. And the way that you're doing it is not sustainable. And it is not, it's not feasible. It's not reasonable. I'm going to show you how it is done. Let me show you how it's done. And this goes for every kind of business. Every kind. Because, you know, some people, they talk a good game. They really do. They talk a good game. They make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm so forward thinking and I'm very progressive and I'm all for revolutionizing and all of that. And then when you put them to the test and you say, okay, will you allow me to work on your behalf in a remote capacity? So instead of me having to be there all the time physically, then you're gonna say, no, that's not possible. Okay, well, it's not possible for me to leave my house. So I'm not going anywhere. That's okay. You know, there's a reason why people go to war. So that at some point in time, they won't have to do it anymore. So think of it like that. You know, when people go to prison, they don't go to prison to go back to it. So you sort of have to look at your 9 to 5, kind of like prison. Oh, because here's the thing. A 9 to 5 is the worst thing you can depend on. Mind you, you might want to use it to pay your bills. But in terms of building your life and the lifestyle that you want to live, no. Your 9 to 5 will not afford you that. At least. It depends. I suppose it depends on what your 9 to 5 is. Because it could. So, you know, don't listen to me. Right? Don't listen to me. It depends. How tall is your salary? How tall is it? Yeah. That's the real question. So, sure, if your 9 to 5 can give you the lifestyle that you want, then sure. But for most people aren't that fortunate. They're just not. You know, most people are not that fortunate. Right? Yeah. Because, for example, not everybody have 2 phones. Not everybody have 2 laptops. You know what I mean? Not everybody have 2 tablets. Some people just have the one, and if that one phone mash up, they cannot replace it. You understand? And that's the worst place to be in your life. I mean, I used to be that guy. Where I had a phone, and if the phone stopped work, my whole world mash up. My whole world mash up with that one phone. That if the phone stop, that's it. That used to be me. So it's never a good idea to have all your eggs in one basket. Never. That's why I compartmentalize. That is why this name always changes. You will never see me dressed like this and the title is Bossman Teaching. That not go happen. Once you see red and blue, Bossman Digital Media. Once this is black and black, Bossman Teaching. Once the tie is a little blue and white, chances are first person tutor. Right? And if you see the ball head, chances are that's on we still alert. Right? um who knows? There is a bit to talk about on Bossman Champloo. And some Bossman Cinema as well. Yeah. So out of many, one Bossman. The coat of arms changed quite a few times. The mantling, the helmet, you know, the crocodile and the shield, the crest. The crest. The crest was oval. Then it became a shield-looking crest. I think there have been 3 revisions until we got the final look. One of them had the banner written in Latin. That would have been the second to last revision. The final revision is where you got the out of many one people, and hence coming back to out of many one Bossman. Ideas. Ideas. If there's anything that I excel at doing, it is taking something that I have up here and making it into what is called math. On behalf of Bossman Teaching, that is called making abundant tangible habits. Yeah? Making abundant tangible habits. Yeah. And that's the thing. For me, I don't like the idea of having something. I don't believe in potential. At least unused potential. If you have potential, use it. You know, don't have your potential just sitting there, waiting for you to get something done. No, get it done. Get it done. By all means, get it done. Yeah. So I guess the moral of this story is I need to lead by example, wake up in the morning, you know. Let's not make all the excuses. Let's not do that. Because it has to be die when you die, because discipline is everything when you do it every time. The attitude has to be die when you die. And the reason why a lot of people will, you know, I feel like people are so obsessed with having the physical money in their hand that, again, if this is the only money you know, then that will be the only money you will know. In other words, if this is the only money you know, then you will not be seeing much of it. Because you have to be imaginative. You have to be creative. You have to take chances. You have to be willing to do things that other people will look at you and say, that's not going to work. That's the first thing they're going to tell you. Everybody's story is Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark is the most relatable biblical story because everybody is Noah. Anything that you're trying to build, anything that you're trying to build is the ark. And people are going to look at you and they're going to tell you, this crap right here, you're wasting your time. Why are you going live? You don't need to do this. It's not necessary for you to go live. Why are you going live every day? Nobody's watching, nobody's listening, nobody cares. Why are you doing this? Who is your audience? Who are you talking to? As a lot of people like to say when they jump on the TikTok live. And my audience is everybody who is just like me. If you're anything like me, you should be willing to work with me because we have the same goal. We're not waiting for somebody to give us what we've dreamed of. A lot of people talk about manifesting and then do nothing. It's all about action, you know. It's about action. Yes, it is good to think, but acting is necessary. You can't just think on your moves, you have to make them. And some people, that's the reason why there's a clock when you're playing chess. If it takes too long to make your move, the time will run out and you will lose, even if you had the superior game. There are a lot of people that had the upper hand, had the better position, was about to do the mate. But because it took too long to move, game over. Now, mind you, life isn't that unforgiving, but it's not less unforgiving either. All right? Yeah. So, yeah. All of these talks that I give, all of it, it is of equivalent or equal importance. It is as important for you as it is for me. Because a lot of times I might convince myself that, yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not working hard enough. Maybe I'm not consistent enough. Maybe I'm not driven enough. Maybe. So sometimes I have to say, well, we have to do things a little bit different now. Yeah, no excuses. So it has to be there when you die. It has to be there when you die. Master every day zealously. MEDZ as much as you can. MEDZ as much as you can. Master every day zealously as much as you can. MEDZ as much as you can. Because for me, I can't work with people that don't have any imagination. Can't work with anybody that don't have any motivation. Or dedication. You see, the work that you've done for other people, you see, when you take back that energy, take back your energy. Learn to take back your energy. Because when you take back your energy and pour it back into yourself, you become so unbelievably powerful. Like you don't even realize, wow, I've been wasting my energy on people that would never, they would never appreciate it the way that you would. Yeah. So honestly, you know, I'm a kind of person like this. I will ruffle feathers, even my own. And the purpose of all of these conversations, monologues, if you would, is to give the reminder. Because it's easy to say it. It's not easy to do it. So I have to put it out there. And then watch this video back and say, remember that thing that you said? Yeah, you need to now go and do it. Go and do that thing that don't be a fraud. Not because anybody's watching, but because you don't want to look like false advertising. You don't want to embarrass yourself and say, oh yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing, and then I do nothing. Play a game of chess and you will learn something. There are things that we need to prioritize in life. And the thing that we need to prioritize is getting out of check. When your king is in check, everything else stops. It's like the entire thing. You ever watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? The world, though. Yeah? For those of you who have ever watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and you know of Dio Brando's stand, which is called the world. That's kind of what happens when you play a game of chess. When you're put in check, everything else around you freezes, and the only person that is allowed to move is the king. You know, maybe there might. That's a neat idea. Imagine if there was a visual, and I know that somebody who develops a chess app could probably do this, and I'm really thinking about it, right? Imagine if when you're playing a game of chess and you're in check, all the other pieces, they kind of like turn into like outlines of the pieces where it basically says to you, look, this is a check where you absolutely have to move. Do not touch any other piece. Don't touch them. You're in check, and this is the type of check where you have to move. There's you can't block it, you can't capture the piece. You know, I think that would be a fun cue, you know, just in case some people aren't aware that they're in check, you know. But anyway, the point I'm making is being put in check is sort of like what homework is for a student in primary or high school, or what an assignment is to the university student, or what a lesson plan is for the teacher. I don't like writing them, but you have to do them. I mean, yes and no. Yeah, you know, because you do it just because you want people off your back. You want people off your back. You don't want that pressure of people asking you, oh, where's the lesson plan? You know, where is it? You know, and even SBAs, like an SBA for a student, a lesson plan for a teacher, content for myself. Let's say I do the recording, but do the recording, but then I don't post it, and then I don't post it. I have homework to do too. As a content creator or a motivational speaker or whatever it is that I'm claiming to be, may have homework to do, and if I don't do it, there are consequences. I will be in what's called checkmate. So I have to get myself out of check. I can't just leave myself there. Not allowed to leave myself in check. And that's the same thing for all of us. We all have things that we would rather not, we don't want to do that. So for example, I never want to turn teacher, but turn a teacher I did. And hence, you know, Bossman teaching and first person tutor. And it broadens your perspective in life. It really does. Because what it does is when people get up and they try to tell you about the teacher experience, you look at them like, okay, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. I know what teachers go through. They die on the job. They die on the job and people forget about them. I've seen somebody give 20 years of their life to the profession. Within 2 years, forgotten. So don't tell me about what you think this is, because I've seen it. So there you go. And don't think the entertainment business is any better. You could get a call before you go on stage hearing that your mom just passed away. You see the people in front of you who paid for that show, they don't care. Cry after the show. Don't be on stage bawling about, oh, nah, we don't care about that. Give us a show that we paid for, then you can cry. Yeah. So there's a lot in life that we have to, you know, we can conceptualize. We can create the analogy for every situation and say, oh, this makes sense. Hold on. I thought my alarm was about to go off, and it is. It's about 1 minute to the time. So, I don't know. I don't know where this burst of energy came from. I don't know. Let me tell you what I do know. I need to be more active, and I'm going to do my best. So I just turned off this one. Hold on. Give me a second. I don't want to disturb the light that I'm using. Right? My light source is important. Right. You see why I'm you see why I have to turn off the camera, right? Where is the tablet? All right, there we go. Yeah, that is why. Because accidents will happen. And the next thing you know, we'll go, broke this and yeah. Can't be having that no timing. So yes, that's the moral of the story. You know, the 9 to 5 is to play by their rules. Creating your own platform is so that you can play by your rules. So play by both. Yeah. Go to their 9 to 5 and create your own. This is my 9 to 5. So just like how you show up to their job every day, show up to your job every day. That is why I tell you the attitude is die when you die, because discipline is everything when you do it every time. And if you do it every time, you're not going to forget. I have a routine that I would like to develop for all the content that I'm doing, every single one of them, including people that I would be managing their content as well. Right? So, hinting, Bossman Teaching manages content for teachers who are content creators. Over here, I manage content for business owners who are content creators, right? So Bossman Teaching is for the teachers who are content creators. I am here for the business owner who is a content creator. That way, you know, we compartmentalize, right? And why? What's the point? The point is we can't do it alone. That's the point. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Imagine the village it takes to erect a building, or to build a boat, or to build a ship. You can't be building an ark and you want to build it. So even this that I'm doing, oh, I'm going to need help. Yes, I'm going to need help. Because without that help, I can only get so far. And maybe that's part of the problem. A lot of us are trying to do this by ourselves. We can't do that. If there's any lesson you want to learn from Naruto, learn this. There are two types of people in the world, the Indras of the world and the Ashuras of the world. And the Indras believe they can do it alone. They can't. As powerful as you are. Yeah? As wicked as you think you are, you're living in a small world. Small world. Right? But yeah, it might sound ridiculous, but that was Indra's problem. Indra did not know how to allow lesser beings to assist him because he saw them as beneath him. I don't need your help, I'm a god. But Ashura went down to their level. I'm human like you. And they built a community together. So, you know, even I have to tell myself these things. I have to remind myself that if you want to ask the question, like, what are my videos about? One, they're notes to self. But two, it's to encourage you. Don't be afraid to start your whatever it is. Whether it's a card printing business, your hairdresser business, your, fabric selling business, whatever it is. Start it, whatever it is. Don't make nobody convince you that what you're doing cannot work. They're going to tell you that can not do nothing. They're not doing anything. So of course it's not going to work. Because you have to stick with something long enough. But you also have to do more than that. You have to place value in what I want to say now. Because anybody can tell you, oh yeah, you need marketing and you need this and you need that. But what you really need is an understanding of your audience. You need to know who your audience is. You know your audience, you can't go wrong. You know who is for you. And who is for you cannot be on for you, if that makes sense. Anyway, my alarm went off. So if I have any other thing else on my mind, I'll probably share it. But yeah, there are many ideas that I placed on the board in the form of the different social media that I have, right? The Bossman teaching, the first person to, so we still alert. The name of this page, How to Many One Bossman, Bossman Champloo, Bossman Cinema, all for different purposes. Why? Because it's possible. If it's possible, why not do it? How about that? How about if it's possible, why not? Why not? So anyway, soon I'll go to those. So if you happen to see me as a different personality, just remember that I'm compartmentalizing. All right. So it is hard to do it every day. It's hard to die. How about that? It's hard to do it every day. It's hard to know that discipline is everything when you do it every day. It's hard. And I think that's what maybe that's what I'm here for. I am here to do away with the myth that being a content creator is easy, or being a business owner is easy, or being a business owner that's a content creator is easy. It's not easy, but it's worth it. That's all. So it's worthwhile. Is it worthwhile? Then do it. If it is worthwhile, do it. The silly things that I do, I go on this phone I go into the Zoom app on here. I change my profile picture and I change the name because I want to be consistent. I don't want to be starting my Zoom and you see first person tutor here. Because that's not what we're talking about. So I make an effort to be consistent. So every time I come on here, whatever I'm talking about, so if I'm going into MMA, this will be Bossman Champloo. If I'm going into anime comic books, that will be Bossman Cinema. If I'm going into content creation and using it to enhance a business, that will be here. Bossman Digital Media. When I'm addressing the issues in education that affects teachers and the way that teachers can pretty much protect themselves from being exploited, that will be Bossman Teaching. Addressing the needs of the students for PEP and CSEC, that will be first person tutor. A place where I teach teachers how to do the things that I preach about over at Bossman Teaching, that is, we still learn. Right? Out of many 1Bossman is all four of the Bossman there. You know, little banter, little fun. What else? And they have, you know, one wilderness and, you know, one job per month. I think that should wrap everything up, right? So, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. There's a joke that one of my sister and them, two of them, both of them recently passed away. And them always say to me, they always say, boy, you always find work for yourself. So I am imaginative, I am ambitious, I am unyielding, I'm unrelenting. Because I mean, sure, you can fight for others, you can fight for your job. But don't forget to fight for you. Fight for you too. Oh, fight for you. So remember what will happen. Don't kill up yourself for them, and then when you're dead left them replace you. Yeah. So this might be on LinkedIn, might be on TikTok, might be on YouTube. I don't know. Wherever you're seeing this, I hope you did enjoy the show of SUP with Bro. Right? That was an episode of SUP with Bro. Right? SUP with Bro is a warm-up. This is the actual event. And yeah, that's all. So again, you know I'm going to say this every single time. The attitude has to be die when you die. Why? Because discipline is everything. When you do it,